off. So let's do the rest of the update statements and the delete. And then I think you'll be ready for your in class 3. I'm not sure what did I do with the other section. Did I give it to them, or I'll have to double check. Anyway, so let's start. We were working on update. We had done 2 before we had the break, and both of them are working, right? So as I said, update does a job. It doesn't show you results. To see results and to kind of ensure that the update has worked, you will have to do a select statement. You can do a select star if you want from the table name and see all the records. And for us, it is okay just because our tables are so small. We don't have a lot of records. But logically, you will see the record that you have updated. Okay, update all null commissions to 0. So anything that was null is now 0. You'll say we never had null. We said the field was, oops, the field was not null. Thank you, Neerav. Right, so we changed the structure, but that was us changing it afterwards, and it really doesn't matter. If the question is asked, just answer it. So remember, we changed the structure of the table last week. We said maybe it would be better to have not null, but that doesn't matter. Okay, so let's do this. Select from the table. So before, select from the table, all null commissions have gone to 0. So let's show all those records in which the commission was already null. And don't forget your is and not an equal to. Right now, as I said, like for us, it really won't. We won't see any results at all just because we didn't allow any null values. But having said that, we will still write our update statement. Okay, so let's update. We are saying all nulls have to go to 0. So let's update the table. Let's set the commission to 0, right? It says all null commissions to 0. Set the commission to 0 where it was previously is null. Now the reserved word null can be written all uppercase, all lowercase, a mixture. It really doesn't matter. The null is, shh, Pritinder, please, I can hear you. If you want to talk, you really have to be soft. Don't disturb me, okay? Right, so basically you have to remember that the null has to be used with is and is not. So all I'm saying is all null commissions have changed to 0. So for us, we won't see any results before and after anyway. We didn't have any null commissions because our field is not null, but you can always double check. Remove the not null for a minute, put a null value and see if it works. Okay, you can do that very quickly. It's no big deal at all. But we changed it and so we can show the result, but it should work. Syntactically, that's what it is. So again, remember, whenever you are comparing with null, you say is null. So this is the new value and you're changing the same field. Though it is not necessary. You may be changing a field that is not even of the same person, like here you are setting a field and you're looking at the employee name. So updating, you can update any number of fields, any fields, and check conditions for any other fields. I mean, there's no, it doesn't say you can only update a field that you're checking in the where condition. Doesn't make sense at all. You know what I mean? Like logically, you're looking for certain records with the where condition and you're changing the value in a column using the set work. Okay, so this should work. Like, I mean, we shouldn't have any errors, except that either way, we won't have any results. So we didn't have any employees with null. And after that, we don't have any 0 ones because we didn't do it. So, I mean, as I said, this is just because how we changed our data. Update Miller's hire date to January 25, 1982. We're not concerned of what the old date was. You don't have to even worry about it. So what should we do? We should check Miller's record first. Okay. So let's see. So I've just done a start and where I've said that the employee name is Miller. Right. So this is the person. I have no clue what his hire date is. I was asked to change it. I'll just change it. Let's update it. We are going to update the name of the table. What do you want to set? You want to set his hire date. And again, if you don't remember the names of the fields, all you have to do is look at the structure. Remember, we saved it in the first result. That's the structure of your field. It's always a good idea to do a describe so that you always have it handy. or you can always go back. When you're working on a project and you work on it day and night, you kind of know them by heart. It's just that we do assignments, or examples day by day, so sometimes we don't remember. Okay, so we have to set it to January 25, 1982. Two ways you can set it. One, you can set it using how I have been doing it. So we go year, we go month, and we go day. That's one way. If you're doing it numerically, it's nothing is wrong, but I tried, as I said, I'll be symmetrical throughout my code, but you can also do it like this. You can say hire date is equal to, and you can use the whole thing, 1982-01-25. Keep in mind that when you use it as a number, you don't put it in quotes. So you can use whatever makes more sense to you, but be consistent throughout your code, whatever you do. You don't have to. It's not a rule that you have to be consistent. It's just a suggestion. And I'm not talking of marks for it. It just makes life easy, right? It's just a suggestion that be consistent. So if you're fine with these, I just don't like it, so I don't use it. I like these ones, but it's up to you entirely. It's my personal preference, right? So you're not losing marks for my personal preference. So the Miller guy, I don't know what his hire date was before, but I've changed it to 1982, 25th of January. All we have to do is check it. So before and after, right? So the last two. So it has definitely changed to 82, 25th January. Let's see, what was it before? Oh, it was 23rd. So maybe a typo or whatever, right? There it is. So it has been changed. Sometimes it may happen that before is also the same and after is also same, but don't worry about it. That's not a wrong result. It's just how it was. Though I try to always change things to see that it works, but sometimes if it's the same data before and after, you don't have to worry about it. You do what you're asked for. Right? I don't know, in one of the assignments that I saw, somebody said that the field is not null, so why are we checking it even? And he or she didn't give an answer. But so 0 for me, right? If you don't have an answer, so you can't, like my commission, we know is not null. So my query that changed the nulls to 0 is not making sense. But what I just want to know, can you do it? And the problem, not the problem, it's just because we changed it to not null last week as a class. We said, let's go not null with it. So queries are there, just answer them. As long as you know how to answer them, you will get your marks. Update Martin's information. He is now a manager and will not have any commission. So that means commission has to be set to 0. Right? We can't do it null. If it was a null field, maybe we would have set it to null. But unfortunately, it is not. So I'll write both for you, so that you know how to use null, but that's how it is. Okay, so let's update his information. So let's take this person. Instead of Miller, it's Martin. Right? And then we have to basically update his record. There are 2 things to be changed now, right? There are 2 things to be changed. So let's see. He's now a manager. So job description. And it just says he's now a manager. So go, just because I'm keeping all in caps, and put a comma and the second field to be changed. And he will not have any commission. Now, since our field, look at it, look at your type. The description of the table says commission is unsigned decimal. Can it be null? No. So if he does not have a commission, we'll have to set it to 0. If it was a null here, then you can say, oh, what do I do? Do I say 0 or do I say null? Both will be correct. Either will be correct. Right? Usually when you have the option of saying null, then you will go with null. That's what it means, that he has no commission. Unless, it is not clear. It's not defined. If I had said not defined, definitely that's what it would mean. Okay, and what is the second value you want to set? You want to set the commission to 0. That's how you will do it. So the set verb is only written once. You write the set verb once, and all the columns that need to be changed, give the value separated by commas. That's how you change it. Again, there is a case statement that comes handy sometimes. You look it up. There is a set that can have a case in it. You look it up how to work with it. And that's hint enough to kind of tell you that you may see it in an assignment or in a exam. Okay, let's try that. So this is the Martin guy before and after. So the person was a salesman before, had a commission of 1400. That's Martin's record, right? And now this is Martin's record. If you had to set it to null, though it doesn't work for us, all you had to do was instead here you could have said, you just do it like this, like null, right? Don't put it in quotes or anything. Null is a special value. Like, I know it's not a special value, it's an undefined value. So this is how you would do it, but it's not what works for us. That's not what we can do. We cannot do it. You will have an error here. Try it. You will have an error here. There it is. Commission cannot be null. So we can do it. But syntactically wise, you don't say is here. When you assign, you use the assignment operator. When you check, you say is null and is not null. But we can do it anyway. In this code, we cannot do it. Bless you. Right? In this code, we can do it. And the question didn't say anything. I mean, if it had said will not have any commission, means commission could be 0. If I had said his commission will not be defined, then definitely I was expecting null from you. But that's what will work for us. And it does work, right? He changed from a salesman now to a manager. And it does work. Update all records. So all records means no where condition. Right? Update all records. So if all records have to be updated, let's do this way. Let's select. Again, if the fields are too many, you can even go show me the employee name and show me the commission. You can make your own educated decisions, right? Why would I like to see all the fields? Because what am I changing? Just the commission. So let's see it from the table. Sorry? Oh, thank you. There. Okay now, right? So this is showing everybody's commission. And we will again show the same thing because we want to update all records. Okay. When all our records are to be updated, you don't require a where clause, obviously, right? So the where clause is basically selecting records. Keep that in mind, whether it be in select or whether it be in update. That's what where does. It works with only specific records. Okay, so what do you want to do now? Let's see. All the old commissions add. It's not setting it, it's adding it. So change has to be made. The new value is the old value plus 500. That's what means add, right? So update. So let's update. Okay, so let's update the table. What do we want to do? And this is how, remember, assignment operator is same in all languages. The right hand happens first and then the value is assigned to the left hand side. Assignment always works right to left, like other statements that work from left to right. Assignment always works right to left. So what do we need to do? We need to set the commission to its previous value plus 500. Again, keep in mind, it's a numeric field. It's a numeric field. Don't put it in quotes. Though again, SQL, I don't trust SQL to come up with errors necessarily, but that's what it does. Assignment always goes from right to left. So the old commission will be picked up in every record. 500 will be added to it and it will be put back in the same field. That's what it does. So all records have been updated. All records commission value has gone up by 500. Okay. Yes. I haven't checked. I knew that question was coming. I'm not so, I don't think so. Right? I'm not very sure. Like, sorry? Error. I don't think so because SQL is kind of a plain, simple, neat language. You know what I mean? Like these combined operators came in existence in our application languages. So MySQL is SQL is a kind of very simple, neat language, and it's been there for years and years. So I think at that point of time, these joint operators were not available. So that's what I thought it wouldn't be. But if you've checked and if you have an error, definitely you've made your point, right? Let's run it. So anything before and anything after. So remember, just showing two fields makes my life a little easy. I could have shown all the records, but here. So I have a few 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first 5 are zeros, and then I must see an 800 and a 900. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 800. So it does work. All commissions have gone up by 500. Right? The commission has been added. Okay. Update the first 2 records only, setting the commission to 0. So as I said in the beginning, you don't have an offset. You can do it, but let's do it the way it can be done. So let's select the first 2 records. Just to show it, I mean, you could show more. I should be saying a little more so that you can say, oh, the 3rd and 4th were not updated. You know what I mean? Like, you're not only checking the correct form, you should also check the incorrect one. Okay, so let's update the first 2 records. So this is basically showing all the records. I mean, as I said, okay, now update the first 2 records only. Okay, so let's update the table name. Only the first 2 records. Set the commission to 0 for only the first 2 records. But that's how you do it. You cannot use offset. You cannot say 0,2. You cannot do any. This is its syntax. Limit and the number of records. As I said, I don't know why they did it, but that's how. So for me, it is okay. For my question, it is fine. But just for your information, you cannot do an offset in update, and neither in delete. We'll do the delete also. So here, so the first 2 commissions, I had changed them to 500. Remember, they were 500s. Now they should be back to 0. The first 2 only. So again, I'm showing a before and after so you can see. I mean, maybe we could have only shown the commission. So here are the first few, or all of them. The first 2 have changed to 0. The rest are unchanged. Right? So this is before. These 2 guys had 500. All I want, and the rest were 3 more 500s, but only the first 2 have changed. And that's exactly what I said. I said set commission to 0 for the first 2 only. Works, right? So no offset. If you kind of forget, make a note for yourself. I mean, here, if you want to make a note, it's just the syntax. I don't know the answer. It's just the syntax. Okay. Okay. So that takes care of update. Let's see if we can delete. So once we know how to delete, we've done the 4. We can create, we can read, we can update, and we can delete. Right. So let's look at what delete does. Okay. So here is the format of the delete. Let us delete some information we do not need. And it says delete from the table name and the where condition. The where condition is optional, but if you don't use it, all records are deleted. Remember, there's a difference between dropping a table and I was just checking if I was recording, and doing a delete. Delete deletes records. Drops the table, and of course the records are deleted. So it does 2 jobs. Delete verb only deletes records from a table, whereas a drop table command will delete the records. I mean, whether physically or not, we're not talking about it, but the records are gone, but also the table is also gone from the table database. So if you try to say, describe the table name, you will have an error. It will say that no table exists. So there are 2 different commands. Delete from and drop table are 2 different commands. Okay, so let's say, so again, if you don't use the where condition, which is optional, everything goes. So be careful. Okay, Adam has left the company, delete his record. Okay, let's try. Delete from table name. Now, if you need a condition, then you need your where. Right? If you need your condition, you need your where. I'll do a control C so that I have it. Okay, who's gone? Adam has gone. Right? So that means we know his name. I'm not sure if it was Adams or Adam. Adams has left. So it's not plural. It's just what his name is. In fact, no, I mean, English language, I wouldn't say Adams has left the company. So Adams is his name. Right? So how will you check? Of course, you can do a select star afterwards. Or TBL employees. Thank you. You can select his record before and you can select his record afterwards and it won't come up. So let's try to select him. Select from. Select star from. I'm doing the delete. Select star from TBL employee where employee name is equal to Adams. Okay, so this is the guy before. And if he was deleted, you should get an empty table afterwards. That will prove that it has deleted. Again, the same thing like in update. Delete doesn't give you a result. It does a job. So if you need to see the result that it has worked, then you'll have to do a before and you'll have to do a after. Okay. Okay. So select start from whatever, and let's check. So the last three is what we are checking again. Not last three, sorry, last two. So empty table says Adams is no longer an employee. So there he was before we deleted the record and we said select him again. And of course, the select will give an empty table. Right? So it works. Okay, let's look at the other ones and complete them. So once we know, we can kind of run them together now. Delete the records of all employees. You can remove the table from here who joined the company in 1982. So your where condition, and remember, no likes in dates. Okay. Okay. So delete the records of all the employees. Okay. So let's first see who the people who joined in 1982. So we can say where hire date. So only 1982. Okay. So let's do the between just because it is easy. And again, it's up to you whether you want to use a number or 1982. And the last date of 1982 is 1982, 31st of December, MM and D. There. These are the people who joined the company in 1982. No likes, please. Right? Don't use them. And we'll copy this. And okay. So everybody records who joined the company in 1982. There, delete from. So delete and select are very kind of, I mean, the syntax is also similar, right? All I did was copy and I changed the select star to a delete. Yes.
Why shouldn't we use like?
Remember, we've said like is only used with text data and dates are not text.
No, but it works fine.
Yeah, it works fine, but that's the main thing. It works, but syntactically it is not correct. It will work. Remember, we checked it last time. It does work. So I could have said hire date like 1982, but I would recommend to keep away from it just because you are programmers, right? Not like you should be good professional programmers is what I'm meaning it. So it does work, but you will read everywhere in manual also that it's not text data. And remember, like is used with text. So is it okay to use it in an exam or in an assignment? You will lose some marks, not zero, but some marks. So why use it? And why? It's not text. So if you're using the right thing, then you know that you understand what you are doing. Okay, this should work. We should have an empty table afterwards. And some people, I'm sure, were in the company before. So let's check before and after. Okay, so definitely an empty record. And these were the people who had joined the company in 1982. So if you show the same table after deleting, of course, it will be an empty table. So works, right? Let's try the last one. I think we are just left with one. Oh, no, two. Delete the first 5 records. So again, a delete. Just the first 5 records. And remember, all we have to do is the first 5. Limit. You can do a 0 again. Okay, no offset is allowed. Again, make a note for yourself. We'll again do the same thing. That's basically showing all the records and the first 5 must go. Right? You can always you can show the first 10 if you want. If there are trillions of records, you can only show the first 10. So the first 5 will go and then you will see new 10s. Again, just because our tables are so small, we don't bother a lot. But I'm just doing a start. So that will show me what's there and what's not there. So the first 5 records before, I'm definitely left with less. So those were before. So president 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 should start with the salesman, Ellen. Starts with the salesman, Ellen. So the first 5 records got deleted. And remember, deletes are physical deletes. They're going. They're gone. Right? They're physical deletes. It won't say, do you want to? And delete all records. But of course, the whole table will go. And if you do a select, your table should be empty. If you do a select, your table should be empty. So give that a go. We are safe because it's such a small one. It doesn't matter. We can always recreate it. But your last table should be an empty. So all records have been deleted. Yes?
You said like doesn't work with numbers.
No.
Because if I work with like, and I want to like print only the salaries that have one in the starting.
We can try. But again, like is more text data. I'm not sure whether it will give you, it works? Whether it gives you a warning, no warning even?
If I just quote the one.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I meant. Remember, in the beginning I said put text data in quotes and number without quotes. That's why I'm trying you to understand that you have to differentiate between the two. Like will work with numbers if you put the numbers in quotes because it thinks it's a text, right? And it works.
But in the data we store into the salary, there wasn't in quotes.
Yeah, but that's a number. But
your attention, please. In a few minutes, the fire alarm system will be activated for F, A, J, and residence buildings. Please act if this were a real emergency and you are required to evacuate the building. Thank you.
that's the fire alarm. Ours it has 11, so we are okay, right? This building I checked was at 11. So by that time my class will finish. Yes, you save the data. When you save it, you can put it in quotes also, just for your information. You can do that too.
Even the numbers.
Even the numbers. You can do that. Therefore, from day one, I stress. I say put text data in quotes and put numbers without quotes. But if you put numbers in quotes, it will work. So that's all about SQL, right? That's how it behaves. And therefore, I say you behave as if you were a programmer. Think right. But when you do it with text, when you put quotes and you say like, it says, oh, that's text data, and it will work. It will work. Just because it doesn't see the one as a number, it just sees the data as a data. And it says, is there a one in it? And it will do it. Right? So things will work. I try to keep you away from all these, discrepancies because that's not how it should be. So I don't want this to affect your real programming skills in Java, for example. That's my aim. Because then you will start thinking, oh, it's working here, let me try it there. Don't even try it there. Right? Because Java is a very strictly typed language. And so are all application languages, mostly. Right? So that's why I stress if things work and you want to, why should you even think that way is my reasoning. If it's a number, why are you thinking like even? If date is a number, why are you thinking like even? That's how I want you to think. Just because I want you to be programmers. Right? So this will definitely delete everything because that's what I've said. And if I don't, if I just comment it out, then and if I work, definitely whatever was left, I think we deleted the first 5. 7 or something should be left with us. And that's what will be left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 5. We had 11 records to begin there. So that's update and delete, right? So we've covered select. We know how to create and use databases, create a table. We've already talked about columns and their types and how important it is to think right. The use of enumerated data type, numbers, text, unsigned, signed. We know how to insert data, then how to select. Not to in its complete eternity, but still a lot of it. Update and delete. Right? That takes care of what I needed to do in the first 5 weeks. And now I have to think, did I give the assignment to the other section or not? So let me double check. So let's see Blackboard. So for this, for my teaching purpose, yes, Ty.
For number 23, was the only line you had was delete and select the database?
Yeah, because I showed it to you that the whole thing was gone.
Okay.
Right? So this select was to show you that there is nothing in the table now.
Okay.
So if you
getting an error
on the delete.
Yeah.
Delete from, that's it. I hope you didn't put a start by copying.
Yeah. I just
Oh, because here the problem is here. You missed your semicolon.
Oh.
There, the problem is here. Sometimes when you see a red cross on a statement in SQL in your editor, the error could be before it. Keep it in mind. It necessarily may not be in the line. And usually the error in a line before it would be a missing semicolon, for example. So I know, but that's how it is, right? But if you know what to do, then you will know it. Okay, so that takes care of what we wanted to do today in terms of teaching material. So now you're ready for your third in-class assignment, right? So let me see whether I've posted it on Blackboard or whatever, and let's go from there.